morning. We're going to be a little bit more participatory now because I've seen everybody just sitting here, and the first thing I want everybody to do is stand up. Because I don't see any life moving in this crowd at all. I want everybody to stretch a little bit, reach up. Everybody take a deep breath, get some oxygen flowing through the body. So everybody taking a deep breath. Hold it, let it out. All right. I'm not going to make you guys scream and chant or anything, but I just wanted to get you guys moving a little bit. And we're going to have a little bit of fun. I'm going to ask you guys to participate. Go ahead and sit down. And I'm going to show you a couple of different images. And what I would like you guys to do is tell me what you see. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this first one. What do you see? Black and white. All right, good.
Piece of shit.
The Aleutian Islands. All right. Did I hear somebody say a cow? All right, back there, right here. I heard a cow. Does anybody else see a cow here?
No.
We see another cow over here. Keep looking at it.
A guy facing left and a girl facing right.
You see it? So we got a nose down here at the bottom. See the two ears up at the top? We've got the back of the cow right there. Is it starting to come in clear? Now, are there sometimes, so we've had quite a few different speakers. So Lawrence was talking about just how things have kind of changed. How they're a little bit differently today. Things kind of sneak up on us. And you say sometimes that we get so busy in our businesses, sometimes we get so busy in what we're doing that maybe we miss what's really going on. Does that ever happen to anybody in here? Anybody ever wake up one morning and all of a sudden their kids grew up and they're wondering when in the world did you grow up and start driving and start doing all these other things?
Yeah.
And so sometimes we get too close to it, right? We don't really see what's going on. We can't see the big picture. I want to take a look at this next one. So how many people in the room see a young person? Okay, so I've got a couple of people. How many people see an old person? Let me ask, all the people how many people see both? How many people in the room see both? Okay, how many people see both? How many people see the young person and they say, how in the world do you see the old person in that picture? Is there anybody that feels that way right now? And I see some people describing it and showing the picture and pointing to the different things right here. So if we take a look, if you see the young person, you've got a little nose, a little button nose right there on the corner. She's wearing a hat that she's got on. She's kind of got her head turned away. She's got her chin is right there, and she's got a choke around her neck. How many people see the young person? Okay, so it's starting to come clear. Now the old person, her chin actually becomes the nose. And so you think so how many people see the older person there? And so how many people can flip back and forth? So young person, old person, young person, old person. All right. So is it a young person or is it an old person?
Old.
It's both.
Both.
Sometimes do we have different paradigms, different things that are going on. And sometimes we have different perceptions, different angles that we look at things, and they can be perceived differently. Does that ever happen in business for you? I want to take a look at this. How many people see blue and black? All right. How many people see white and gold?
White and gold.
Now this one's a little bit interesting because I'm not going to be able to point out the blue and black or the white and gold. It's just half of the group is going to see white and gold, half of it's going to see blue and black. Okay, we see a blue and green. Great, perfect. So sometimes we can look at the exact same thing and it's going to be different for us. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit too. Now we're going to test our listening skills because sometimes customers say things to us and maybe what they're trying to say, sometimes our spouses say things to us and we hear one thing and they're trying to say another thing. Does that ever happen at home? I know I get in trouble for that all the time. But I want you guys to listen to this real quick.
Laurel. 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 Laurel.
All right, how many people heard Laurel? How many people in the room heard Yanni? And so we hear two completely different things as we kind of go through that, even though we all heard the same thing. And the reason I bring this up, and this is so important for us to understand, the reason I bring this up is Lawrence talked about some things today. Did some of the things Lauren say, did that make anybody in the room uncomfortable? Let me just ask that. Well, some of the things Mark talked about, does that get anybody a little bit uncomfortable? Everybody's happy that we're changing all these efficiency standards, that we're going to be changing different refrigerants. It's all great stuff. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Okay. Bring it on. So, when we start talking about going from simple to complex, how many people in here remember the TV show, the Andy Griffith Show? How many people remember Mayberry? Okay, quite a few people remember Mayberry. And so tell me, if I wanted to get a haircut, not that I need it, but if I needed to get a haircut and I went to Mayberry, where would I go? I go to Floyd's Barbershop. If my car broke down in town and I needed to go somewhere to get it fixed, where do I go? Now let me ask this question. Was there anywhere else to go besides Floyd's that you know of in Mayberry to get your haircut? Was there anywhere else to go besides Goober's to get my car fixed in Mayberry? How many people wish that we still lived in that world? Could you imagine if there was a heating contractor that lived in Mayberry? There'd be one guy, right? And everybody in town would know that person. In fact, they would just see the person on Main Street talking to him, hey, my furnace isn't working. Can you stop by over at the house, take a look at it? I got the key under the mat, and just go ahead and leave a bill on the counter, and we'll go ahead and we'll settle up with you a little bit. How many people long for business to be like that again? Okay, there's quite a few people. Unfortunately, things aren't quite that way. So let me ask this question. We've got the holidays coming up, and we've got some different things that are happening. So Thanksgiving's coming up next week, and everybody's going to be with their family, they're going to be celebrating. How many people in this room are looking forward to Black Friday, and they're going to go stand in tons of ridiculously long lines and try to get a whole bunch of doorbusters and try to get all kinds of stuff out there? Anybody? Raise your hand high if that's something that you're looking forward to. I got one person in this whole entire room that's looking forward to Black Friday. Now let me ask this question. How many people in here are going to probably buy something on Cyber Monday through the internet?
No.
A couple of more hands have come up here. I'm curious, in this room, how many people order other things that they used to actually go to the store for and they order online? Does anybody get any groceries delivered to their house? Okay, a couple of people have groceries that they get delivered to their house. How many people, all the distributors, please close your ears. How many people buy tools online? Okay, a couple of you guys shop online and look for tools. How about some of the accessories that you need? Wire nuts, zip ties, just some of those miscellaneous odds and ends. How many people go ahead and order those different things online? Everybody in here is loyal. They all buy from their distributor. Good. I'm glad that you guys are good at that. But, things have changed, and our consumers, and as Lawrence was talking about, our consumers are changing the way that they're doing business. I want to show you a little bit of a model here that we put together. And so if we take a look, we've got our outside forces. This is all that government regulation we talked about, going from SEER to SEER 2. This is refrigerant changes. These are all things that we can't control that we have to deal with. We look at the HVAC dealership, I look at it, and there's a lot of identity crises out there. And so how many guys started out as a new construction business and maybe now you're doing mostly residential replacement? It's a little bit of a hard switch to make. How many started out maybe residential replacement and now you're doing more new construction? And so we start to see things flip back and forth until there's this identity crisis. How many people really know what their brand is? And they're able to easily articulate that to somebody when they say, what does your business represent? Who are you? What's your tagline? What's your slogan? What's the company culture? What's everything all about? And so we look at the HVAC dealership. We have this identity crisis going on. Homeowners are looking different places. How many systems will the average homeowner buy over the course of a lifetime? What do you guys think?
3, 4.
2.
So the numbers I hear, depending on where you are in North America, it's between 2 and 3. And how long do you think they're in the market? How long do you think they're in the market for that system?
2 days.
Maybe 2 or 3 days? So I want you to think long and hard about this and let this set in. The typical consumer thinks about heating and air conditioning about 6 to 9 days out of their whole entire life. It's been said people know more about funerals and caskets than they do about heating and air conditioning. Because as long as that system's working, if I'm not in the industry, I'm not thinking about furnaces, I'm not thinking about air conditioning, I'm not thinking about efficiency, I'm not thinking about any of that other stuff. As long as I push the button up or down and I stay warm or I stay cool, I'm not worried about it. And so as soon as that system breaks, where are they going? Used to be you. Today, as Lawrence talked about, they're going on. You need to get educated. And that expertise is gone away. Let's take a look at employees. Is it hard to get employees today? We've got some great breakouts scheduled for you guys this afternoon. I'll tell you, I'm excited. We've got higher dimensions here. They're going to be talking about how we can hire and retain our best. We've got Jennifer Bagley is going to be talking about how we can be the option when the customer's looking for us or trying to find somebody to come out and solve the problems that they have. We've got EGIA that's going to talk about consumers being able to pay for their systems. But how many people enjoyed last night and going around and talking to the different stations and the different sections of the HVAC sales process? So let's take a look at that real quick. So we've got this HVAC business cycle. This is what you guys walked around last night. And I hope during lunch you can interact with these people a bit more. But I want you to think about a future and think a little bit about this. And so if everybody just go with me, I want you to imagine an HVAC system that's just running in a consumer's home. And this is probably not too far in the future, but I want you to think about that system running. It's doing all these checks. It's checking voltage, it's checking the amps, it's checking the cycles, it's checking the temperature, it's checking the charges and the pressures and everything else that's going on in the system. And all of a sudden it notices, hey, I'm not quite working right. And it goes to the internet and it says, hey, I'm sick, I'm not working right, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. And it looks out there and it says, okay, I know that there's going to be 4 or 5 technicians that are doing work in this area from various different companies, looks at the ratings of all the different companies, this company has the best rating, and it says, okay, I'm going to put this schedule, this appointment right there. There was no inaction from the homeowner at all, but the system actually reached out and they contacted and they put this on the schedule for that technician to come out. The technician gets the appointment after they finish their call. They go out to that call, and as they pull up to the customer's home, the geofence recognizes that the technician got there. It opens the garage door, it opens the front door, lets the technician in. The technician comes into the home, and on the 3D printer sitting in the living room, it's already printed out the part that they need. Technician goes ahead and picks up that part and goes ahead and puts it in the furnace. Furnace does all of its diagnostics and checks and says, yep, everything's working fine. Technician leaves, automatically withdraws money out of the customer's account and pays the company for doing the service, and we're off on to the next call. Now let me ask this question. Does the technology exist today for that scenario to happen? Yes. The technology, and now let me ask a more important question. Is this what the consumer wants? Not what the contractor wants. Is this what the consumer wants? Because this is a big thing we have to think about. Do consumers enjoy shopping HVAC contractors? Do consumers enjoy waiting for technicians to show up at their home? How many consumers love it when the technician shows up and says, I don't have the part available, I gotta go run and get it and I'll come back? They hate it. And so we think about all of the aspects of it, but guess what? Whether it's the furnace or it's the customer, somebody has to be able to find you, and the big question is, are you an option? Can you reach out to the customer? The next question is, when they reach out, is that experience going to be a good enough experience for them to book an appointment with you, or are they going to go find somebody else because that experience sounded like you just didn't care? And so are we able to convert those appointments into actual calls? Are we identifying the problems correctly when we go out there? Are your technicians asking the questions about the allergies, the asthma, the hay fever, the hot and cold spots? Or are they just running in there with blinders on and changing out a hot surface igniter and getting on to the next call? Are we having the conversations that we need to have with our customers? Are we identifying all of the problems while we're out there? How about the problem solutions? Are you able to present the solutions in a way that makes sense to the consumer? Or are we just throwing brochures out there? And so are we trained properly to be able to present those solutions, to be able to communicate and talk with people that we need to talk about? And then are you getting compensated for the work that you do? How many people have any accounts receivable? Anybody in this room? Most of you get paid all right away. That's good. But think about it. Are we getting compensated? And are you being compensated correctly? Are you getting paid the right amount of money for the amount of work and time and effort that you're doing out there? Then are your consumers loyal to you? I talk to so many contractors that I go out and I meet with and I talk to, and they say, you know what, Ben, we went out there on Christmas Eve, I went out there on the 4th of July, I went out there on New Year's Eve, we got their furnace up and running, we got their air conditioner up and running. You know what, we went next year to do the tune-up, and they had a brand new furnace or a brand new air conditioner in there, and they never even called me to go out there and give me an opportunity to quote that system. Does that happen to anybody in this room? And so where have we gone with customer loyalty? How are you tying that customer in for life? And last but not least, who are you? What is your marketing strategy? What is your branding strategy? What is your plan? When we do break for lunch, I would ask you to go around through the steps again and start asking the questions. Am I an option in my marketplace? You start at step 1. If somebody has a problem, are they going to find me? When they do find me, are we going to be able to convert that call into an appointment? Are my technicians able to diagnose all the problems while they're out there? Can we present the solutions properly? Am I getting compensated for the work that we do? Am I generating customers for life? And do I have a plan or a strategy in place? This is what we put together with the Goodman Business Toolbox and everything we tied together. As David said, you can go to www.goodmanbusinesstoolbox.com. You're going to see a thing come up. There's no password, no username. So this is available to the whole entire industry. I'd say you go ahead and click dealer, and you're going to find that it'll bring you to a page that's going to give you these 6 choices. So you can look at all of our different trainings and schedule and register for all the workshops coming up. You can look at our brochures. You can look at all of our workshops that we have available. You can meet our team of educators. You can look at our training resources we have available and our strategic alliance partnerships. So when I click on the view training schedule and register, you're going to see all of the workshops coming on, and we've got stuff going on all over North America. And you can see when they're going to be, what cities they're going to be. You can click on it, you can register it. If you don't see something in your area or a workshop that you want, talk to your territory sales manager, talk to your distributor, and they'll be more than happy to schedule those workshops right in your area for you. We have business training, we have sales training, we have technician training, we have technical training. We have over 80 different workshops that you can engage with and that you can interact with and that you can select as far as which ones you want to use. And so go ahead and take a look. If you want to request a workshop when you go to the curriculum, all you have to do is go ahead and click one of those plus buttons, and you can request that workshop for yourself. Here's our team of some of our instructors that put on the workshops and do the classes. You can read their bios. You can also ask the coach, and so you can send messages to them, and they'll respond back to you, and they'll answer questions that you may have about business or different processes, and they'll work with you and help you with those different areas. And then we have a bunch of different resources available for you. We're constantly adding more videos, more materials. We have ebooks available for you. So a lot of materials to help you with that. I will tell you this, the future is bright for those that are willing to embrace the change, those that are willing to look at things a little bit differently. And we bring the tools to be able to help you be able to see those things a little bit differently through the training and workshops we have available. If you have any questions, please ask anybody in the rooms across, or find myself. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions you have around training. We're going to go ahead and take a real quick break so you can grab some refreshments, and you can talk to some of the people across the way. We'll be back here in about 15 minutes.